Welcome back to the channel USD Coins Coin Collectors, History Buffs, and Treasure Hunters. If you've ever dreamed of stumbling upon a life-changing coin hidden in your pocket change, then you're in for a treat today. Sit back, relax, and let's journey deep into the world of one of the most mysterious and hotly debated modern coins in U.S. numismatic history. We're talking about the 1980 D Liberty Quarter, a coin that, under the right conditions, could reportedly fetch upwards of $6 million. Yes, you heard that right. $6 million for a quarter. It's not just a fantasy or urban legend. There's genuine buzz, real speculation, and plenty of controversy surrounding this peculiar piece of American currency. So how did a regular 25-cent piece, minted in 1980 at the Denver Mint, come to be at the center of such staggering value speculation? And what makes this coin stand out from the billions of other quarters circulating across the country? It all comes down to a mix of human error, mechanical anomalies, minting inconsistencies, and a healthy dash of mystery. As we go deep into the anatomy of this coin, we'll uncover exactly what's believed to make certain 1980 D quarters so phenomenally valuable and why collectors are willing to pay a fortune for the right one. This isn't just a story about metal and numbers. It's a tale of oversight, rarity, craftsmanship, and the fascinating quirks of a system that sometimes lets a few extraordinary mistakes slip through the cracks. First, a bit of context. The 1980 Liberty Quarter, more formally known as the Washington Quarter, features the familiar design first introduced in 1932. On the obverse side, there's the stoic profile of George Washington, facing left, with the word Liberty inscribed above his head and the national motto, "In God We Trust," etched to the left. The date, in this case 1980, appears directly below the neck of Washington. On the reverse side, the classic eagle spreads its wings proudly, standing atop a bundle of arrows with olive branches beneath, a symbol of peace through strength. It's a patriotic image, consistent with the vision of American coinage as a reflection of national ideals. Now let's bring our focus to the key feature that has turned this ordinary coin into a numismatic legend, the D mint mark. This letter signifies that the coin was minted at the Denver Mint, one of the main production facilities for United States coinage. In general, the mint mark isn't particularly rare by itself. In fact, over 635 million 1980 D quarters were minted, making it one of the most heavily produced quarters of the decade. So you might wonder, if more than 500 million were made, how could any single one of them be worth even $10, let alone millions? The answer lies in the fine print, literally and figuratively. It's the minute details, the tiny anomalies, and the deviations from minting norms that transform a pocket change quarter into a prized collector's item. The $6 million valuation is not attached to just any 1980 D Liberty Quarter. It's tied to a very specific, extremely rare version of the coin that displays one or more serious minting errors. These kinds of coins are referred to as error coins in numismatic circles, and depending on the nature and severity of the error, their values can skyrocket. Some of the documented and theorized errors that elevate the value of a 1980 D quarter include double die obverse or reverse, off-center strikes, missing mint marks, and die cracks. Let's take these one by one and explore how they occur and why they matter so much. A double die error is one of the most sought-after minting mistakes in coin collecting. It happens during the die creation process, when the hub, which imprints the coin's design into the die, presses the design onto the die more than once, and those impressions are slightly misaligned. The result? A coin that looks like it has doubled images on letters, numbers, or parts of the portrait. This is not the same as a coin being struck twice, which is a different kind of error entirely. With a double die, the error originates from the die itself, which means thousands of coins could potentially be struck with the same mistake, or just a handful, depending on how quickly the issue was noticed and corrected at the mint. For the 1980 D quarter, rumors of a double die obverse exist, especially on examples where the word Liberty or In God We Trust appears slightly blurred or shadowed due to doubling. If verified, such examples would be worth thousands, and possibly far more depending on the clarity and extent of the doubling. Another major error to look out for is the off-center strike. This happens when the blank planchet, the metal disc used to make a coin, is not properly aligned with the dies during the striking process. The result is a coin where the image is shifted away from the center, sometimes dramatically so. The more off-center the coin, the more valuable it generally becomes, especially if the date and mint mark are still fully visible. In the case of the 1980 D quarter, an off-center strike that leaves most of the design misaligned but still shows the date and the mint mark could easily be worth thousands, if not tens of thousands. Now let's talk about missing mint marks. Although rare after 1980 due to automated minting processes, there are cases where the mint mark doesn't appear on a coin that should have one. This can happen due to grease or debris clogging the mint mark area on the die, resulting in what's called a filled die error. For a coin as mass-produced as the 1980 D quarter, a missing mint mark can be highly significant, especially because the Denver Mint was the only facility to produce quarters in 1980 with a D mint mark. If a coin turns up without a mint mark, it raises immediate questions. Was it a filled die error? Could it be a transitional error, borrowing blanks or dies from another year? These are the kinds of anomalies that collectors dream of discovering. Another possibility is a die crack, a visible line on the coin where the die used to strike it had developed a fracture. These cracks can appear as raised lines or odd features on the coin's surface and are usually seen as dramatic imperfections that actually increase a coin's value. In certain cases, die cracks may take on curious or even humorous shapes, like looking like a tear from George Washington's eye, nicknamed a crying Washington quarter. While not officially recorded as a variety for the 1980 D quarter, coins with unusual die breaks always attract attention at auctions. In some ultra-rare cases, a coin may even exhibit a combination of errors. Imagine, for instance, a 1980 D Liberty quarter with an off-center strike, double die obverse, a die crack running through the motto, and a partially missing mint mark. That's a coin that defies expectations and can ignite a bidding war among collectors and investors. Such a combination of multiple minting flaws is not just rare, it's virtually unheard of. But therein lies the value. Rarity fuels demand, and demand dictates price, but it's not just errors that elevate this coin's allure. Part of what feeds into the mythical status of the $6 million quarter is speculation. In the numismatic world, rumors can swirl for years, often sparked by anecdotal stories or blurry photographs posted online. Whispers of a unique specimen discovered in a private collection or sold quietly at a high-end coin show can keep the legend alive. In the case of the 1980 D quarter, there have been persistent but unverified reports of ultra-rare variants that differ not just by error, but potentially by composition. Yes, composition. There's speculation that a handful of 1980 D quarters may have been struck on silver planchets or even foreign coin blanks by accident. During periods of transition at the mints, especially when coinage laws change or presses are shared for foreign coin contracts, mix-ups can occur. If a 1980 D quarter was mistakenly struck on a leftover 40% silver blank or an experimental metal alloy planchet, its weight, color, and sound would differ slightly from the standard copper-nickel-clad coin. These differences can often only be detected with precision scales or metal analysis, which is why it's so important to weigh suspect coins and test their metallic content. And so, we arrive at the crux of the mystery, the $6 million valuation. Why such a high number? Is there really a verified specimen that has sold for this amount? The truth is, while no public auction has confirmed a sale at this level for a 1980 D quarter, the speculation around ultra-rare examples, combined with collector frenzy, makes it plausible in the right circumstances. Imagine a coin that combines extreme rarity, dramatic visual error, historical mystique, and a story that captures the public's imagination. If that coin appeared at auction, especially with verified documentation from an authority like PCGS or NGC, there's no telling what deep-pocketed collectors or investors might pay. After all, in the world of collectible assets, emotion drives value just as much as logic. People pay millions for rare paintings, baseball cards, and even sneakers. Why not a rare coin with a built-in history and mistake that can never be duplicated? The key here is provenance, a verified origin and story that's backed by science, analysis, and historical mint data. If one day such a coin emerges from a safety deposit box or dusty estate collection, it could rewrite numismatic history overnight.